It began with Prince Harry quietly asking his father, King Charles III, to attend the King's Foundation event. It wasn't a press conference or a public announcement, just a simple, respectful letter. But for Harry, it meant far more than a calendar entry. It was a symbolic gesture, a quiet hope that perhaps the door back into the royal fold could reopen. The story really starts with the king's response, a calculated, deliberate refusal. This wasn't a case of a missed email or a scheduling conflict. Insiders say the answer was prompt and crystal clear: no invitation, no video call, not even a symbolic seat in the back row. And that silence spoke volumes. This wasn't just any event. It was a large, highly publicized gathering, the King's Foundation Showcase, where heads of state rubbed shoulders with philanthropists, celebrities, and power players, all under the banner of royal service. This was legacy in motion. And Harry, for the first time ever, was nowhere to be seen. The monarchy isn't just moving forward, it's moving forward without Harry. This wasn't some small seasonal dinner or garden party. This was the monarchy's vision of the future, its values, priorities, and inner circle on full display. Senior royals like Princess Anne, Queen Camilla, and Prince William were all in attendance. Cultural icons like David Beckham and Kate Winslet were there. Even non-working royals like Zara Tindall had seats. But Harry's name was missing. And outside palace gates, the snub sparked immediate chatter. A top aide allegedly stated, "The king sees no reason to reward betrayal with visibility." Whether you agree or not, that one line captured how Harry is now viewed inside royal walls, not as a misunderstood son or a prince trying to make amends, but as someone who crossed a line too many times. And crossed it publicly. To hear that Harry had hoped this event would be his quiet way back, a return to form, to purpose, to honor, makes the rejection even more painful. This was supposed to be a sign that he still held onto the core values of duty and service. But between the Netflix deals, the memoir, and the repeated attacks on the family, the trust was gone. And this very public denial felt like the final nail. The guest list was posted online. And Harry's absence wasn't subtle, it was a bold, intentional statement. You no longer belong here. And some insiders privately expressed relief that, after years of awkward diplomacy and hesitation, a line had finally been drawn. But what made things messier was Meghan Markle's reaction, or rather, her lack of one. According to those close to the couple, Meghan remained entirely silent throughout Harry's efforts to reconnect. She didn't co-sign the request, didn't express support, didn't show interest. She was focused on her business endeavors in California. And to those watching closely, her silence wasn't apathy, it was strategic. It looked like someone quietly distancing themselves from a battle that already felt lost. What began as a family disagreement has evolved into something far more permanent. This isn't a temporary rift. It's an exile, a full, non-negotiable separation. While Harry was trying to turn a page inside Buckingham Palace, the institution seemed ready to close the entire book. And the public response? Exactly what the king and his team hoped for. Quiet approval. No public backlash. No uproar. For years, royal aides tiptoed around Harry, juggling loyalty to the crown and pity for the king's youngest son. But now? There's no pity left. The mood has shifted. Even some of Harry's former defenders in the press are changing their tone. Once applauded for speaking his truth, Harry is now being called out for the patterns, the endless media tours, the one-sided stories, the monetization of royal pain. The headlines haven't stopped. Another confession. Another dramatic retelling. But the public is tired. Worn out. The once supportive fans are now echoing the same message: he made his choice. And this is the consequence. Meanwhile, Harry's security request, reportedly part of his letter, was also denied. Insiders say he inquired about safety arrangements if he were to attend, but the conversation was shut down early. Without official duties, they said, there was no justification for royal protection. That stunned. Security has always been one of Harry's biggest sticking points. He's mentioned it often, how losing it made him feel vulnerable, how it symbolized being cut off completely from the institution. But from the palace's perspective, it wasn't personal. It was policy. No role, no coverage. Behind closed doors, more discussions are happening. Palace sources say early conversations are underway about reviewing Harry's remaining titles. The King's Foundation event may have just been the start of something much larger, a constitutional and emotional divorce from the institution Harry was born into. No press statements. No fiery speeches. Just calculated exclusions, deliberate silences, and doors quietly closing. Back in California, Meghan's silence is becoming its own headline. Some believe she's avoiding attention on purpose, preparing for a solo chapter focused on brand building. Others believe she's already accepted what Harry hasn't, that this story is over. That the royal door is sealed shut. Whatever the case, her absence in this moment of rejection speaks volumes. Even palace insiders are reading her silence as a sign. Not just of resignation, but of division. Meghan may have already moved on from the royal struggle, even as Harry keeps trying to reopen a chapter that's finished. When Harry and Meghan first stepped back, the excitement was undeniable. Talk show deals. Big money contracts. Freedom. But now that the glitter has settled, the cracks are showing. Spotify pulled out. Hollywood is no longer the safety net they imagined. And behind the scenes, Netflix is reportedly cooling down. The glow of royal rebellion is fading. Controversy and fatigue have taken its place. And Harry? He's starting to look like a risky investment. One PR strategist put it plainly, he came in as royalty. Now, he's becoming tabloid. That shift is brutal. Without the access, the titles, the invitations, what's left to set him apart? His entire public identity was rooted in the crown. Even when he walked away, that tie gave him leverage. But now, that tie is unraveling. And each time the palace distances itself, it chips away at what Harry symbolizes. Yes, he can still do interviews. Yes, he can still write books. But without the royal connection, the weight just isn't the same. The danger isn't just becoming irrelevant, it's becoming a character in a drama the public is tired of watching. This time, the palace seems determined. Royal analysts are discussing legacy and precedent. And everything is playing out in front of millions of eyes. King Charles isn't flinching. In his mind, the monarchy comes first, even before blood. The most telling moment wasn't verbal. It was in the King's Foundation guest list. The names weren't chosen just for star power. They symbolized unity, stability, loyalty. And Harry's absence? That was louder than any speech. Even David Beckham and Kate Winslet were there. Even royals who had stepped back were allowed in. But Harry was excluded, completely. He wasn't just off the stage. He wasn't even allowed a video cameo. No digital message. Nothing. The message? Harry is no longer part of the vision.